A demand for justice. Most Black people in America are the descendants of Africans who were brought here as slaves. Slavery in the United States lasted for 250 years. In 1865, a great civil war finally ended it. After that, 100 years of segregation and discrimination followed. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s worked to end segregation in the South. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 ended legal segregation in public services. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 protected Black people's right to vote. Affirmative action laws have helped many Black students go to college and enter professions. Still, most Black families have stayed poor. Black people have had trouble getting a loan, buying a home, or starting a business. Lack of opportunity and poor education have kept Black people in poverty. Today, the wealth of the average white family is 11 times the average Black family's wealth. Enough is enough. Black people have complained for years about the unfair justice system. It seemed that police officers who shot and killed unarmed Black people were not punished. It seemed as though Black lives did not matter to white society. On May 25 this year, TV News showed a video that shocked the world. 4 police officers had arrested a Black man, George Floyd, and threw him to the ground. One of those officers kneeled on Floyd's neck for almost 9 minutes until he died. Floyd's last words were, "I can't breathe." The video was seen 1 billion times by people all over the world. White and Black people marched in the streets in big cities and in small towns. They shouted, "Black Lives Matter." They demanded justice for the murder of George Floyd. Peaceful protests continued all summer in more than 60 countries. During this time, the news reported more police killings of unarmed Black people. Many Americans started to think seriously about the changes that society needs. They want to end the unequal ways that society treats Black and white people. The New York Times reported that Black Lives Matter may be the largest civil rights movement in U.S. history. Polls in August showed that 63% of all Americans agreed with Black Lives Matter. Stop honoring racists. Protesters began to tear down statues of Confederate heroes, slaveholders, and even presidents who were slaveholders. In many cities, people voted to remove such statues from public land. The protesters also called for changes to the names of streets, parks, schools, public buildings, and army forts that had been named for Confederate generals or slaveholders. Cities took down their Confederate flags. Looters, criminals, and extremists. In some cities, looters and other criminals joined the protests. These people were not peaceful. They broke store windows and stole merchandise. Violent gangs set fire to businesses, police cars, and police stations. They were not protesting for justice. Some were calling for revolution. City mayors and police departments had trouble calming things down.
For more information about Easy English News, to subscribe to our paper or digital editions, and for more resources by Elizabeth Clare, visit our website, elizabethclare.com.